NFF was set to review $130,000 monthly of Eric Chelle monthly salary, and of course, plus 19 under conditions. This is crazy. Private SUV, 24 hours electricity, it's crazy. And of course, Ahmed Musa returns for Kano Pillars. And in the Premier League, we will be experiencing the London derby between Tottenham Hotspur and of course, table topper Arsenal Football Club. And of course, Laliga continues, French Ligue 1 continues, and of course, Bundesliga continues. On that note, I say welcome to Sport Talk on Enterprise TV, where sport news from the four corners of the world are delivered at its best. If you are joining for the first time, please do well to follow us across all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. My name is John Olasikomi. Join me and let's ride together. Joining me virtually today is Taiwo Ibrahim, making a return back to Sport Talk. Taiwo, welcome to Sport Talk.
Well, thank you for having me. It's nice to be back again. It's a bumper weekend, and I can't wait to get started.
All right, we know how we do it on Sport Talk. We always start with local football because charity begins at home. We'll be starting with the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and of course, NFF, Nigerian Football Federation. A board member of the Nigerian Football Federation has confirmed that Super Eagles coach Eric Chelle tabled fresh terms before the body, including an increase in his monthly salary from $50,000 to $130,000, which will also cover his assistants. However, everything remains subject to review and approval. Taiwo Ibrahim, this is crazy. Over 100% increment for Eric Chelle. And we all know, between you and I, Taiwo, we know NFF cannot afford to pay, Eric Chelle $130,000.
NFL are like Barcelona.
What are your thoughts? Hope it is not what I'm thinking. You know that we all know, not today. I don't know if you remember what Erickson said about NFF back then. He said when they wanted to hire him, they promised him so amount of money. And at the end of the day, they told him that they would definitely split his monthly money. They will be giving 50%, and of course, they will pocket 50%. Hope this is not another avenue for NFF to embezzle money.
Yeah, putting him on the spotlight. But for Chelle, I don't blame him because he did, by his own standards, he did well at the Nations Cup. Well, maybe not by everybody's standard, but at least, to be fair on them, they did well. The difference that he didn't meet the target set for him. The target set for him was to win the Nations Cup, not to finish third. So now he didn't win the Nations Cup, he finished third, and because Olympic Marseille were trying to play PR stunts with us by saying he was being linked with Olympic Marseille so that he can get a contract renewal or get a salary increment with the Super Eagles. But I don't blame him. It's because we are giving him the opportunity to show what he can do, and he has done fairly good. But does he have the right to demand for a salary increment? Yes. The question is, all the other 18 requirements, conditions he has given us.
It's crazy.
How feasible are they? Well, there are normal things. If you are working for a good organization, you should give you a private car, especially if you are the coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. You should have a private car. You should have a security detail because that means he's coming to stay. To be living in Nigeria now. So he doesn't want to be coming and going anywhere he has official assignment. He wants to come and stay and with his family. And he's asking, but for me, there are some things in that request that is outrageous. Because if you are saying that we should give you a ticket for your family, I don't think that's doable. Even if you never see money give you a ticket finish, now your family will talk of. So I don't think that's doable. But all the utility stores, like security, like internet, like 24-hour supply, and the one vital part is him asking that the salary must be paid or not before 30th.
I'm telling you, the same man that has been owed 3 months' salary, this same Eric Chelle.
You know what he's saying now? You know what it means for him to be owed 3 months' salary? He means that if he doesn't give them this condition, then they owe him 6 months. And nothing will happen. So for him to have drafted out these kind of conditions now, he has been there for a year. There are some things I see that I cannot tell anybody. It's between him and his employers. So for him to have come out to say, these 19 conditions, give me these 19 conditions, and I sign the contract extension, or not. Now, he's negotiating in a position of strength. Nigerians are impressed by what the team did at the Nations Cup. He knows that one of them cannot afford to sack him now. Even if they sack him, if they still have a back of salary to pay him, they have to pay him up before sacking him. So now they can't sack him because they sack him, there'll be an outcry from Nigerians because he has done fairly well. They should give him an opportunity to build the team. So that is why he has come out and said, okay, I want these 19 conditions. We know that realistically, the 19 conditions cannot be met. They want to come at a round table and discuss how they can find a way around it. Even if it means that maybe the most important part of it will be met. The other one will share it. 130K is not too much for him. It's not too much. Then he also covers the salaries of his PA assistant coaches because the NFL will not pay assistant coaches. He will pay from his pocket.
Taiwo, it is not too much, but between you and I, do you think NFF can pay him more than $30,000? How much were we paying Ose Peseiro? And we owed Ose Peseiro for like a year, like 10 months salary. The last time I checked, NFF are still owing Sunday Olise. I don't know if they balance, Finidi George. So, but for me, I believe $130,000 is outrageous for me, in my own opinion.
For me, it's not too much. That's why I said earlier that the NFL are always broke because they are like Barcelona. It's not that we cannot afford it. Do you know how much these people are getting subventions from the federal government, from the MSC in a year? So they cannot tell me if they want a good coach. See, if you want a good coach, you know, I will tell you very well the category of D coaches in the world. When you are categorizing coaches, you cannot be in the D category. So
he said he wants to become the first African coach to coach Real Madrid. I don't understand.
Everybody can dream, you know, but we know that it's not in the category. So if he's asking for such amount, realistically, if you want to get any foreign coach now, whether they have a good CV or not, they cannot take nothing less than $100,000. And he knows, these guys, they are aware of what is happening, they are aware of how much the Nigerian government is putting into sports. They are aware of how much they are getting for Nigerian football. They know. So you cannot say that this thing is too much for them. So if they cannot afford, let them tell you how much they can afford, that they will pay you. If you study that thing very well, the man is saying, he learned before 30 years and pay me $130,000. He knows that they are struggling to pay $50,000. And he was saying, pay $130. And now ensure that you pay money before 30 years. So he's using wisdom for them. If you cannot pay $130,000, if you want to pay 70, make sure you pay me on the before 30 years. So it's not up to the NFF to decide if they can afford all those demands. And if not, they should sit at the round table and ensure a good working environment for the man. Because it needs, imagine all this he was asking for projector. Are you telling the national team coach you don't have a projector, you don't have an office? All those things. They are not, is he supposed to be asking of it? Is it supposed to be something the NFF should provide readily for him? As you are probing the next contract extension, tell me what is coming with it. You should not be going asking for it. So that's my opinion.
Gradually, he is turning himself into Ruben Amorim at Manchester United, that he is no longer a coach, that is now a manager. Because out of all those conditions, he said, you allow me to select my team, which you and I know that is not possible when it comes to releasing players, releasing squad for any tournament in this great nation. Which is not possible. In my own opinion, I feel it is not possible. But you requesting for that, you want to take 100% selection, you want to select the best legs. Come on now, Eric Chelle. And for me, Taiwo, between Eric Chelle and Ose Peseiro, who has achieved more for Nigeria?
Ose Peseiro.
So, and of course, Ose Peseiro got fired. He got fired. For me, third place winning bronze is just a normal thing. It's just a medal that any indigenous coach can win for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. So yes, because you now want bronze now, you started demanded for all these things.
Also, Barcelona played negative football and got to the final and finished second. Chelle played entertaining football, expansive football, and got to won the third.
Taiwo, against which country? Do you know the country that Jose Peseiro faced during his own tenure? Who did we play? Mozambique. Uganda, Tunisia.
But what I even saying,
the only good team that we played, we ended up playing nothing, which is Morocco. So why is it not demanding for this kind of outrageous money? Like I said, maybe there is something that they are not telling us.
They gave him the job. Nobody expected him to get the job when they gave him the job.
Okay.
And now we have given him a hint to fly, and now he wants to show us that to say. So now I believe we are humans. He can decide to ask whatever he wants, he feels he desires. It's up to his employers to say we can afford this or not. There's another special requested that I like. He said he demands that he will work hand in hand with the other national team coach. He wants to speak.
I also heard that Angola Football Federation are also requesting for him, talking about Eddie Chelle. Taiwo, are you with us? Okay, go ahead. Hello, Taiwo.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Everybody will be looking for him because of what he did at the Nations Cup. So it's normal that all these things will come. Sometimes we can be PI from his employers, from his management team, so that we can give him a new contract, so that we know that it's an old cake. So we cannot do anything a day for him, so that anything he requests, we give him. So anybody can maybe come for him. But the fact that he wants to come and stay in Nigeria to ensure that he wants to oversee our football as a whole. That's why I also asked that all the coaches of the youth national team, they work together, have a monthly meeting with them. So maybe he wants to develop a plan for Nigerian football, so that everybody will work according to that plan. So he's coming to Nigeria as an head coach to take over everything that has to do with our football.
Now, Taiwo, let me now put this to you. Our best legs are in diaspora. Osimhen is playing in the Turkish league. We have a lot of them in England, in Spain, in Italy. So what will you be doing? Studying Nigerian Football League, and at the end of the day, you won't still invite 4 to 5. You can't invite 4 to 5 players in the MPFL.
Okay, so what you are saying is that he should not stay at home. He should stay in the
I'm of the opinion that he should stay. He can be shoveling it, but you can't just sit down here because your best legs are there. They are not here. If they're to be England now, take a look at Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel will move from Manchester to London like that because the majority of players are playing in England. But not like, you can't say the same thing for the Super Eagles of Nigerian players.
Yes, I agree with your point because you know that realistically, even if he stays at home, there's no guarantee that he will invite 5 players from the NPFL and give them chance in Super Eagles. No guarantee. So now he's not saying that he wants to stay. But you know that some people will still complain that I is our coach. But it's because he wants to oversee. He's not only coming to oversee the Super Eagles now. That's why he wants to stay. He's saying that he will go about the Nigerian league scouting for players that can play for under 17, under 20, under 23, and the Super Eagles. That's what he's saying. So it means that he's not only going to be working when the Super Eagles are in action. So he'll be working.
I know our age group football is not in good condition, but before it came, we've been tearing teams apart. Under 17, under 20, we've always been doing well. But he should not just come here and start giving us all these things. In my own opinion, he's just trying to. I don't want to say he wants to scam us, but it's okay. It is what it is. Why not just divide? Why not just divide that money, $130,000 monthly, divide it to 265. Look for an indigenous coach, give him all the support him. $65,000. Of course, you won't pay them in dollars, you want to pay them in naira. I put it to you, NFF will not pay any indigenous coach 50 million naira. They will not.
They can't do it.
Yes, of course. Why do you want to waste $130,000 on Eric Chelle? Because of bronze medal?
Let me now ask you, which Nigerian coach are you forgetting the last thing that happened when the Nigerian coach was in charge of the team? Number one, MFF will not regard these people. Even if you have, I can't remember the Nigerian coach now.
That is the problem.
And if you can't remember coach now that you want to give the job, Amunike will not get it. Maybe the door is closed. Mention any Nigerian coach, maybe you want to see the likes of Daniel Oguwo,
that is what I'm saying. If our indigenous coach, like most of them, can come out and also give them this kind of condition, you have to at least give them a chance too to prove themselves. Not that you will give them a job and you still be the one overseeing the job. That is the major problem. Because he's telling us that he's no longer a coach, he's not a manager. Finidi George cannot dictate on his own. Take a look at the way Finidi George left. Just look at the way he left. They were doing meeting behind him. They just recruited, they recruited, the man. It was ridiculed, in my own opinion. So Chelle demanding for all these things is just too much. Don't let us do this for ourselves. Can Nigeria win the World Cup in 2030? Can they win in 2034? So what's now the goal? Now tell me, what's the goal?
The goal is to qualify for Nations Cup.
Come on. What is his name? The head coach of Beyond Limit. We qualify us to Nations Cup. Coach Olumide. We qualify us to Daniel Ogunmadede and Felix Leshuku. We qualify us to Nations Cup. So why are we deceiving ourselves?
Yes.
We are just deceiving ourselves. Why?
Even the NFL we are fighting for, they have not told you they are ready to pay you. Where they want to see the money?
Eric Chelle didn't qualify us for Nations Cup.
Abi?
Yes, of course. So why are we not deceiving ourselves? Who is deceiving who? In fact, NFF just I don't know, but it is what it is. But for me, I believe NFF cannot meet up to, they cannot meet, in fact, they cannot meet 10 of these 19 conditions. Or 20. They can't meet 10. They can't meet up to 10. I know NFF, you know them. Or do you think they can meet up?
Where they want to the money? Where they want to
It is what it is. Let's see how it goes. Eric Chelle and of course NFF. That is why they are called the NFF. It is what it is. All right. Away from NFF and of course Eric Chelle saga, let's move straight to the MPFL. Kano Pillars forward Ahmed Musa has rejoined the team ahead of the Nigerian Premier Football League MPFL Match Day 27 fixtures against Ekong Warriors. Taiwo, is Ahmed Musa still playing football? Hello, Taiwo. It seems his network is not cooperating. Because when I saw it, I was like, come on, Ahmed Musa still playing his trade in Nigeria. It's okay. The last time I checked, he is the general manager and, of course, the captain. I mean, the forward of the team playing for Kano Pillars. Good to hear that he is back with, Kano Pillars. Kano Pillars has truly struggled this season. They've struggled a lot from the beginning of the season, and of course I just want to believe they will definitely get themselves along the Match Day 27. They've not been doing it. This is one of our big guns in the MPFL. Likewise, Remo Stars has also been, struggling. We don't even know whether they will definitely play in the NLL come next season. Dan Ogunmayede has been eyeing under 20 job. Maybe it is written. Maybe he has been seeing the sign that, of course, he will definitely get fired by Remo Stars. He has been eyeing the job of the under 20, talking about the Flying Eagles. Taiwo Ibrahim, are you back? All right, let's take a look at other fixtures in the MPFL. Wadi Wolves, we host Borough, and of course, Wiki Toys versus Remo Stars. Katsina United versus Enugu Rangers. Kano Pillars, we host Academy Warriors. Nasarawa United versus Bendel Insurance. Kun Khalifa versus Niger Tornadoes. Rivers United, we host Enyimba Football Club of Aba. Ikorodu City versus Bayelsa. Abia Warriors, we host Akwara United. It is no longer a news that Akwara United has been banished from their stadium, and of course, the remaining matches will definitely be played in Abeokuta. And of course, Plateau United, we host Shooting Stars. Taiwo, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry for the break.
All right, I was talking about Ahmed Musa, that he rejoined his team, and I was like, is Ahmed Musa still playing football?
Well, in Nigeria, I don't think I'm happy. He's serving as the general manager of the club and also playing as a playing squad. So anytime he wants to flex, he wants to remember that he's still a footballer, he's not retired. He just decides to go to the pitch and play football. And then mostly he works as the general manager. Well, for him it's fun, he's enjoying it. And he has popped in some important goals for the team this season. But he also knows that they need his experience on the pitch, also his administrative acumen off the pitch, because you cannot say he's an established administrator yet, because he's his first opportunity. But at least the experience he has garnered over the years in football, they tend to be worthwhile because of his pedigree and because of his popularity in Kano. So they gave him that job. So now everything is going to be tested now because the team must not go on relegation. But presently, they are struggling. Things are not going well with them. So he cannot go on relegation this season. But at least, let's hope that what he's doing will probably help the team to escape relegation at the end of the season. But it's been a tough season for them. And the winners are also still looking at joining another team in, I think, Russia, the team that Victor Moses plays for. So I don't know how true that is. But notwithstanding, let's see how the team can escape relegation before the end of the season.
All right, first it was, Remo Stars, second Shooting Stars, and now Kwara United. They have all been banished from their stadium. They will be playing in Abeokuta. Funny enough, Taiwo, can you imagine? There is no team in Abeokuta, and yet a lot of matches have been played at the MKO stadium. At the MKO stadium in Abeokuta.
Yeah. They are doing network marketing there, so it's easy for them. So you don't need to have a team. People just come and use your stadium and enjoy it. But for Kwara United, I must say it's an embarrassing moment for the league as a whole. We keep saying these things. I don't understand why every time when things go, it's not even as if the referee was biased against this team. It was just because Rivers United scored a late equalizer and all hell turned loose and the fans went berserk and began to do all sort of stuff, began to assault people, they held them all stage, and you ask yourself, what is at the end of the day, the team that was already struggling, now they getted 3 points and 3 goals. They can't, you only won just 1 out of 8 games. Now they getted 3 points from the points they don't get, they can't come up 3 points. So the fans doesn't seem to understand that whatever act of violence you commit, at the end of the day, the blame will be on you, and your team will suffer very harshly for it. That's what's happening now. That 3 points that they got from them can cost them their status in the league this season. Now, they banished them to Abeokuta. They will play their remaining games of the season without their fan support. So, sometimes I want to appreciate what the NPFL have done. That was a very quick reaction to the incident. But I believe for us to be able to call these incidents and to nip these incidents in the bud, I think there should be more severe penalties because it doesn't look like these fans are being affected by these points deduction and banishment. It doesn't affect them. At the end of the day, it's the team that will suffer it. The fans doesn't seem to be affected, and the fans are the one causing problem. Not the players, not the club, not the administrators. It's the fans. So I like the fact that they say they should make the culprits available for arrest, but I know that they cannot release them for arrest because I don't know. Cover them up. It's a sad one. Our fans need to be educated that violence has no place in football, whether you win or lose. We watch European football every week. These same fans, they watch European football. They support other European clubs. Have you ever seen any Arsenal fan or Chelsea fans or Manchester United fan doing those kind of things after the game? Even if they lose scandalously, they lose and everybody go to their house. But I like the fact that NPFA they reacted in a switch way and have given them the ban, and I hope they will learn from it.
It is what it is. All right, away from local football, let's move straight to foreign football. We'll be starting with the English Premier League. Arsenal must banish their untimely bout of title race anxiety as the wobbling Premier League leaders head to Tottenham for the North London derby. Taiwo Ibrahim, they call them the butlers. Are they going to bottle this league this season again? Talking about Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah, I will call them perennial butlers. So, I pity them, really. I pity them because at the beginning of the season, towards the first stanza of the season, they use first standards in Nigeria, but at least before December, Arsenal were the best team in England, if not Europe. And the way they were not considering goals or playing well, scoring goals reasonably. But now, since the beginning of the year, they've struggled for consistency. And it's not a coincidence that at the same time Arsenal begin to also find their own form. Now, the problem is that they are 5 points clear of Man City, with Man City having a game in hand. And when Man City is chasing you, it's as if the whole world is chasing you. Especially when it comes to Premier League titles. It's as if they are being chased by the whole world. And Arsenal they don't seem to have this technical know-how to finish the season. And all these things come with experience. You cannot not win a league for over 20 years and expect that you have to battle with the league for a team that has won 6 titles in the last 10 or 11 years. All these things, you develop this know-how through moments. Through moments where you have won the league, this doesn't jump on people. His experience, his leadership, his ability to manage pressure when it comes. But they don't seem to be able to do that. So now it's affecting them because when you see the way they are playing, now they are not scoring enough goals. They are not confident. The same defense that was one of their strong points has not become one of their weakest points. They are not considering goals. They're not playing 2-2 against using a 2-goal lead against Wolves, the worst team in England. And you want to win the league. This is certainly not how to win the league. But we are hoping that maybe by stroke of luck, they can scale through. Because you cannot top the league almost the whole season. You have those 12 games to go. And you go through at the end of the season, it's becoming a curse. Something has to be done. I'm pitying their fans anyway, because I know many of them are started celebrating already in December. So if they don't know when the league will know, the team will not finish. But I just said that against Tottenham, they've always dominated Tottenham. They've always found the key to beat Tottenham, even though they're not playing well. They've always been able to beat Tottenham. This time they need to win. Tottenham have a new coach, and we will just be hoping that the new coach bounce will not spur the player at home to be able to give their best and ensure that Arsenal doesn't have a chance. But it's a win-win for both parties. But I think Arsenal will make this one. They may be too strong for Spurs to handle.
Let's see if Eberechi will also get another hat-trick against Tottenham Hotspur. Other fixtures: Aston Villa vs Leeds United, Brentford will host Brighton, Chelsea vs Burnley, West Ham vs Bournemouth, Manchester City will host Newcastle United, Nottingham Forest will face Liverpool, Crystal Palace vs Wolves, Sunderland vs Fulham, Tottenham vs Arsenal Football Club. Away from Premier League, let's move straight to Spain, Italy, Germany, and of course France. Real Madrid are aiming to make it 9 straight wins in La Liga and retain their spot at the top of the table when they resume their domestic campaign with a clash against Osasuna on Saturday evening. Taiwo, in less than 1 minute, let's talk about Real Madrid. They'll be playing away from home against Osasuna. They're on top of the log table. They are leading Barcelona by 2 points. Do you think they can win the La Liga this season?
Well, they were too close to call and too early to call, but the Real Madrid have won in a good run of form in La Liga. They won their last 7 games in La Liga to overtake Barcelona. They against Osasuna, now there's one thing this thing does to you. Once you're able to be on the top of the log, it galvanizes you and at the same time it gives you pressure. But if you look at that Real Madrid team, the way they've been playing, especially in the La Liga, in La Liga they've been taking teams out. They've been producing professional performances by winning their games. It doesn't have to be flamboyant, but at least get the job done. They've been doing that. Same cannot be said of Barcelona, who have lost their last 2 games in all competitions. But now that they're on top, it may be too close to call that they may win the league. But because they say Clasico, second leg is still coming, both sides are still going to play some tough matches. So but it's good for them that they are back on top of the leg. I see the league going down to the wire, maybe going down to probably when the Clasico will be played. But Real Madrid, they are doing well domestically, and I don't expect Osasuna to be able to stop them in this game.
All right, let's look at other fixtures. Athletic Bilbao versus Elche, Sociedad will host Real Oviedo, Real Betis versus Vallecano, Atletico Madrid versus Espanyol, Getafe versus Sevilla, Barca will face Levante, Celta Vigo versus Mallorca, Villarreal versus Valencia. In Italy, we'll be seeing Juve versus Como, Lecce will host Inter Milan, Cagliari versus Lazio, Genoa versus Torino, Atalanta versus Napoli, AC Milan versus Parma, Roma, we host Cremonese. And in Germany, Bundesliga, we have Wolfsburg versus Augsburg, Union Berlin versus Leverkusen, Bayern Munich versus Frankfurt, Leipzig versus Dortmund, St. Pauli, we host Werder Bremen, Freiburg versus Borussia Mönchengladbach, Edenham versus Stuttgart. And in France, French Ligue 1, RC Lens versus Monaco, Brest versus Marseille, Toulouse versus Paris FC, PSG, Paris Saint-Germain versus Metz, Auxerre versus Rennes, Angers, we host Lille, OGC Nice versus Lorient, Nantes versus Le Havre, Strasbourg, we host Lyon. Where Hendrik is also doing wonderfully well at Olympic Lyon. That is how much we can take on Sports on Enterprise TV 7. Endeavor to subscribe and click the notification bell to get notified of all alerts. Follow us across our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. Like, share, and engage on our content with our website at www.enterprisetv.com for all the news you can use, the inclusives, and the live updates. Taiwo Ibrahim has been on the show today. Taiwo?
Thank you for having me, and I hope your team loses this weekend.
So all the bookies, Chelsea will lose. My name remains John. Last to come in. See you next time.